In the 1890s, Chicago was a city of progress and promise, a place where new fortunes were made, and old secrets disappeared into the soot-black skyline. Immigrants, dreamers, and drifters arrived by the thousands, searching for opportunity in a city remaking itself from fire and ash. Among them was a polite, well-spoken 30-year-old man named Herman Webster Mudgett. He called himself H. Holmes. A doctor, a businessman, and according to his prosecutors, a predator unlike anything America had ever seen. In 1871, a fire tore through Chicago and left the city in ruins. A catastrophe and a beginning. Streets filled with sawdust and blueprints. Carpenters and masons moved from one project to the next, racing not only the clock, but the dreams of a city unwilling to stand still. By 1980, brilliant architects had turned Chicago into the world's first city of skyscrapers. And in the working class neighborhood of Inglewood, another structure began to rise. Not a skyscraper, not a monument, something stranger. Something that would only be understood long after it was gone. The building should have taken skilled workers no more than 6 months to erect. Instead, with over 500 craftsmen, it took a year and a half to finish. This was due to Holmes' method of suddenly firing laborers without explanation and replacing them with new ones in order to keep the building's layout secretive from outsiders. Contractors later described confusing internal changes. Plans altered after walls were raised. Certain rooms insulated more heavily than others. Some corridors ended abruptly. Construction began in phases. Walls were built and sealed up. Rooms were soundproofed with asbestos. Holmes paid in promises, fired without cause, and hired again from a pool of laborers who could not afford to ask questions. On the outside, the building blended into Inglewood's busy corner. But inside, its corridors twisted like a puzzle. Slowly, deliberately, the castle took shape. He hired young women seeking independence in the new city, offering wages, respect, stability, and a room. Employees came and went. Some left for better prospects. Others left quietly. Their names murmured but not followed. Tourists filled every room in Chicago, including Holmes. His hotel advertised in the Chicago Tribune as the world's fair hotel. He insisted on renting out to only young women and would pretend there was no vacancies when men applied. In the dazzling shadow of the World's Fair, Holmes built not a business, but a web. As Chicago celebrated its triumph, a quieter enterprise grew behind the brick walls on Wallace Street. One built not in the light of the White City, but in its shadows. Hotels that promise privacy, discretion, and convenience. Young women arrive seeking modern freedoms, work, independence, a room to call their own. In a city that grew faster than morality could catch it, people disappeared all the time, many by choice, some by circumstance, and some because they trusted the wrong threshold. The city, a Chicago built from fire, had forged a perfect place for ambition. It also created the perfect place to hide. It was a new age, a time when women could ride alone on a train, could work, write, travel, live apart from family. America called it progress. Yet progress offered freedom without safety, opportunity without protection, dreams without warning. Most strangers were kind. Some greet you with a register and the promise of a quiet room. Most checked into hotels that welcomed them like honored guests. Some, instead, walked through a quiet door on 63rd Street into a building that promised comfort and offered something else entirely. There were no screams in the night, no reports, no alarms, just names, written neatly in ledgers, then crossed out, one by one. The massive building covered a whole city block. It loomed like a great, dark fortress. It was not the height of the building that made it imposing, but its square footage. The hotel's lobby was not very welcoming. It had no seating arrangements, nor any other accommodations for visitors. In the growing neighborhood of Inglewood, H. Holmes was ready. Holmes was pleasant, polite, a man who shook your hand with confidence and remembered your name.
I assure you, the accommodations are quite proper, and the rent is agreeable.
Indeed it is. I believe I shall take it.
In the years during the World's Fair, Chicago's growth did not slow. People arrived, people left. Names appeared in directories and disappeared just as quickly.
Good day, gentlemen.
In a city of motion, absent rarely drew notice. A young woman from Indiana, hired for clerical work, wrote home about her promising new position. Her letters stopped. A visitor who inquired about lodging near the pharmacy sent one telegram and none after. In another time, 3 disappearances might have raised alarm, but Chicago was transient by nature. Many women arrived seeking independence, many left without announcement. Holmes explained each departure with calm precision. Opportunities elsewhere, marriage, family obligations in distant towns. His answer rarely faced challenge. Only later would investigators align timelines. Letters that ceased suddenly, belongings never claimed, left in vacant rooms for new tenants to find. Bank accounts emptied. Names that passed through the castle and then through history into silence. There was no single day when suspicion began, no headline announcing alarm. Instead, a pattern noticed quietly, then reluctantly, then undeniably. The castle had been built to conceal movement. Now its most chilling feature became clear. Absent went unnoticed. In the months after the fair, Chicago began settling into winter. New construction slowed, streets quieted, but not all accounts were balanced. H. Holmes owed money to suppliers, to banks, to private lenders who had trusted his charm, his promises, and his steady blue gaze.
Holmes owes a substantial sum. We must find him.
At first, the debt appeared ordinary, the tight cash flow of a young businessman.
But I fear he's vanished completely.
They did not see the castle first. They saw the trail, not the man, the transactions. Detectives did not arrive as heroes to stop a criminal mastermind. They arrived as city officers pursuing unpaid notes, forged signatures, and insurance deception. They were not prepared for what they would uncover. They were preparing a case for fraud. What they found instead was something else entirely. Rooms strung along dimly lit networks of narrowly weird angled corridors which took strange, unexpected turns into dead ends. Stairways that led nowhere. A room without windows, sealed tight, its purpose unclear. Each day the detectives delved more and more into the secrets of the castle. Officers documented each anomaly without speculation. The third floor contained small hotel rooms furnished with a bed, rocking chair, a rug, and a mirror. The second floor was even more maze-like than the third. with the floor plan similar to a carnival funhouse. 51 doors lined 6 shadowy hallways which zigzagged at crazy angles. Many of these rooms only locked from the outside. These were fitted with special peepholes facing inward for no other reason than to spy on the tenants. The rooms ranged in different sizes according to specific purposes. A few of the doors opened up to very narrow rooms with low ceilings. While some were ordinary rooms, others had no windows, which were equipped with tight-fitting doors that made them airtight. They found secret passageways, concealed closets accessible through sliding panels and trapdoors that opened into complete darkness. The police discovered grease shafts hidden between the walls, which dropped straight down into the cellar. Sixteen of the rooms were lined from floor to ceiling with asbestos. It's equipped with a gas jet for no other reason than to admit gas into the chamber. One room was a walk-in vault, which contained an imprint of a woman's bare foot on the inside of a metal door. They theorized it was made from one of Holmes' victims. When the investigators searched Holmes' bedroom, they discovered several gas valves in a closet that controlled gas lines scattered throughout the building. As police descended down into the basement with their flickering lanterns, they discovered a cavern of brick and timber 50 feet wide and 165 feet long that resembled a Gothic horror dungeon. Beneath the painted rooms and polite smiles lay corridors not shown to guests. Tables meant for dissection and torture. Scattered around were articles of clothing and human bones. A charred woman's high heel, along with ribs from a torso of a child. When they opened up the chimney, they discovered human hair and remains that clogged the stovepipes. There were also 2 buried vaults full of human remains. The following day, the authorities discovered another hidden chamber at the cellar's southwest corner, which contained a massive kiln with a cast iron door and a grate that slid in and out on rollers. The basement also housed a grotesque stretching contraption that Holmes called elasticity determinator, which he claims was for the purpose of creating a race of giants by stretching subjects to twice their size of their normal length.
What's happening in there?
When investigators turned from the building to the man, they confronted not a monster of folklore, but a figure who resisted simple definition. In interviews and correspondence, H. Holmes presented himself as courteous, rational, and unfailingly calm. Holmes altered between confessions and denial, and at times adopting almost theatrical self-mythology. then retreating into polite dismissal. He lied for profit. He lied for advantage. He lied when nothing could be gained at all. At first, Holmes confessed to slaying one fairgoer. Eventually, he admitted to 27 murders. However, according to records, 50 tourists who lodged at the Castle Hotel never returned home from their trip to Chicago World's Fair. On May 7, 1896, the legal process reached its conclusion. H. Holmes was scheduled for execution. When the sentence was carried out, it marked the end of the man, but not the end of the narrative.